Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Huddle.
Where we talk about football.
It seems like we do the same thing every single week.
Yeah, well, it's what we do.
All right, today's playbook. We got NFL news, another final call. This week's featured team is the Tennessee Titans. We got some CPAC React, and then, of course, the Steel Curtain session. And I think we should throw in a wildcat at the end of this session, Elijah.
Okay.
College. What am I saying? College football bracket just got released this past week, so maybe we can talk about that. We'll keep you guys updated too on the college football bracket playoffs. But for now, let's get into NFL news. Elijah, do the honors. Take it away.
All right. Aiden O'Connell has a knee bone bruise. Yikes. But the Patrick Mahomes killer is now out for the year. Derek Carr, week to week, after his injury to his left hand or something.
Yeah.
And then Jonathan Brooks tears his ACL again in the same knee. So that is unfortunate for the Panthers and for him.
Real quick.
But
makes you think, right? Did they hurry him back too quickly?
Yeah.
You think about McCaffrey too. They played him too much in really bad conditions, and then he ends up, tearing his PCL like he wasn't fully recovered yet. So, I don't know. Protect your running backs.
Yeah. But, I mean, that is their job to run and get hit. So.
No. I mean, yeah, you're right. So.
But anyway, Steven Nelson unretires, former Steeler chief and somebody else, I don't remember. But he's signing back with the Chiefs.
Texan.
What? Was he a Texan? Oh, okay. Yeah, gotcha. Browns have been eliminated after the loss to the Steelers. Lions are in the playoffs now after their win to the Green Bay Packers, which we'll talk about later. Eagles clinched playoffs. Huh? What'd you say?
I hate Jaden Reed. Just saying.
Oh, yeah, well. Yeah, there's a lot of that going on. Eagles clinched the playoffs after their win against the Panthers. And the Chiefs clinched the division after the Chargers win. Finally, Joe Burrow, his house was robbed. Hopefully everything's okay there. Hopefully everybody, his family's safe or whatever. But yeah, that'll be it for your NFL news of the week.
It probably was his defense.
Oh, man. He's going to get robbed, too, when he doesn't get the MVP because his
That's
team
true.
sucks.
I would even argue Jamar has a case right now. Justin Jefferson had a big week, too. Good week for LSU. Yeah. All right. Thank you for the NFL news. Let's get into final call. We can do overreactions. What do we want to do?
Let's just do final call.
Let's do final call. Tennessee Titans.
Yep.
3-10, right?
Yes. Yep.
Lost 10-6 to the Jaguars.
Yep.
I don't know why that game was even televised. I myself did not watch it because I like watching real football, but it was seemed like it was pretty uninteresting. So, what went wrong for the Tennessee Titans this year? Myself, I had them going at 7-10. That's what I predicted them to finish. I had high hopes for this team. I thought either Will Levis was going to do a lot better than he did last year. I also thought Mason Rudolph was going to get a lot more time. I thought Tony Pollard was going to be great. I thought Calvin Ridley was going to be great. I thought DeAndre Hopkins was going to be with them towards the end of the season. Looks like none of that happened. I have the defense too. They're 3-10. So I would admit I was wrong on the Tennessee Titans. But once again, what went wrong? What went wrong? Yeah.
Yeah. So you know me, I usually like to blame coaching first. But I don't really know anything about their coach other than he came from the Bengals.
Bryce Callahan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's one of those things that you just look at the names on their roster. Like, Will Levis, they put a lot of faith in him, and obviously he had his early start with all the memes that
Yeah,
he
he had better memes than he did playing well this season.
yeah, Mason Rudolph, I mean, I just don't think he's a starting quarterback. He's a good backup, but they just didn't, you know, see that in him, I guess. And overall, their team just sucks, so it wasn't really his fault. Tony Pollard, I thought, had a nice, not bad year, at least in
No,
terms of
he's good.
fantasy.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not prime Tony Pollard, but he's
Calvin
definitely still
Ridley
putting
took
up.
about 5 weeks for him to actually do anything productive. But
Yeah,
all right.
yep. Tyler Boyd, I don't even think anybody likes him in the locker room. But I just think there's this is kind of a young team, and they need to build. Their coach needs to get a little bit better.
Right, this
Um,
was a voting year. They wanted to see what they could
yeah,
do in the future.
obviously because they got rid of Derrick Henry and
Right.
switched him with Tony Pollard. So, um, but their defense is terrible. It's like ranked bottom or something, and just overall, this team is not very good. I also had them at like 8-9 or something like that. So, but next year should be a year that they can get better. They
Hopefully.
do have to they have to figure out their QB
Yeah, I was gonna
situation though.
say you're the GM coach, whatever you want. What are you doing with the Will Levis situation? Are you moving on from him? Do you give him 2 more
Yeah,
years to fill out his rookie or what? He was a second rounder, so
yeah, yes, he was.
I think it's a 3-year contract, not 4.
I still kind of like Will Levis. My new philosophy for quarterbacks is that they need to sit for a year. And which he did sit a little bit last year, right? Or yeah, he did sit. Um, but it's just you got to sit behind a good quarterback. Um, an experienced quarterback. And so what I would do is trade him.
I don't know if
And he will
that's
have a better
I don't know if
option.
that's the case for all quarterbacks. I mean, you see what Jaden Daniels is doing right now.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, there's different situations like that.
right,
But
there is. I mean, it's
I just
different
think,
having Calvin Ridley and Terry McLaurin. Like,
yeah, that's true. But I just think, I would say for a quarterback like him, there's some quarterbacks, like you just said, some quarterbacks need to sit. And he's one of those guys that I think needs to sit and watch. I think he'll be a good backup quarterback throughout his career. Obviously, just the way he started. Um, Maybe he'll have a starting role again, but I would see him getting traded, and I would definitely draft somebody with this good draft class coming up, and I would sign like I don't know somebody. I don't even know what kind of quarterbacks are going to be in free agency. I know Aaron Rodgers will probably be there, but I don't know if you want to do that. But I would say find a new quarterback. I just don't think he's the fit for the Titans. So
no, yeah, I would agree with you. I think they'll keep him 1 more year, but
yeah,
I think they definitely will bring in some quarterback either in the draft, 4th or 5th round, or signing out in free agency.
yeah. But like I said, do you know what quarterbacks are in free agency? Because
I mean, both Fields and Russ are.
yeah,
I think Kenny
Rodgers
Pickett is.
probably will be. Yeah, Kenny P. Um,
Mason Rudolph, I think, is done after the year.
yeah.
Daniel
So not really.
Jones
Yeah,
is
Daniel
also
Jones.
always an option. Sam Darnold.
Yeah, yep.
So maybe even Sam Darnold on the Titans. That doesn't sound like a terrible idea at all.
No, not at all.
I'd be surprised if, not that I'm a Sam Darnold hater in any way or shape or form, but I would be surprised if he plays at this level next year. Once
Yeah,
again, you're going from Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson, debatably the best duo in the league in the wide receiver position, to you know
yeah, and yeah, it takes what I think it takes like a system that you can fit in. So, for instance, Russell Wilson obviously is a good quarterback, but he just got put on the Broncos, and that wasn't a good fit for
no,
him
that
with
was like
coaching. The Broncos, what Sean Payton needs is like a bully, basically. He will yell at you if you're messing up, but what makes Bo Nix special is that Bo Nix will yell right back, and that's the environment that they have there. The Broncos, that's what you have to have. The Steelers, or Russell Wilson was just kind of he's a nice guy, you know. He's not really going to yell at you. He's respectful, and that's Steelers are all about respect. So, I think that's why that's a perfect fit. So you just have to find the right fit, and I think Darnold found a good fit, which is why he's doing well in Minnesota. And I mean, look at Malik Willis too. Obviously, he sucked in Tennessee, but he found a fit as a backup in Green Bay and went undefeated. So, um, yeah, it's just about finding the fit for you at quarterback.
Yeah, absolutely, 100% or percent spot on. Yeah, I agree with everything you just said. So I
Thank
would say final call for the Titans. Probably worse than what we expected out of this team. A rebuilding year, as everybody was expecting.
you.
But you were putting yourself in a perfect position to have a good draft. So don't screw it up.
Yeah, get another Derrick Henry type player who carries your team.
Man, imagine if they got Genty.
Yeah, or
That'd be sick. I don't think they're ready to give up Pollard, and that's not the team they are anymore.
no,
They're not Mike Vrabel. They're not the Titans. That's not. I mean, they're not the Mike Vrabel Titans. So
yeah, or Arthur Smith Titans either,
no,
because
not the other
but
Titans.
we're the Arthur Smith Titans now. So, um,
Sometimes it's a great thing. Sometimes I see Matt
yeah,
Canada.
yeah.
So
All right. What's next? I don't know.
let's go on the week 13 overreactions.
Okay.
Or is this week 14?
Week 14. Yeah.
Week 14. Let's start with here. Michael Penix Jr. Should he be the starter in Atlanta for this upcoming week?
Yeah, I don't think that's an overreaction. I think Kirk Cousins is at his end. So I would definitely start Michael Penix. If you're, I feel like Kirko Chains is the problem there. So start Michael Penix.
They play the Raiders, so I feel like this would be a perfect opportunity for him. Let's just look at the rest of the schedule. They got the Raiders, the Giants, Commanders, and the Panthers. I would say 4 out of 4 of those are very winnable games with Michael Penix at quarterback. I don't know right now what I'm seeing out of Kirk, that it is quite possible. They can still win the division. They can still very well win the division. And they only got one divisional game left. So those 3 non-divisional games are very, very important out of this team. So do you put that pressure on Michael Penix? I don't know.
I say you got nothing to lose.
Yeah. No,
if
you don't.
If you lose out, then you get a better draft pick. If you win out, you're in the playoffs. So
Let's be
I
honest.
mean,
Though. For a team like the Falcons, they might win 2 or 3 out of their next 4 games. Let's say they sneak into the playoffs. I don't think they're going past the first round of the wild. They're probably going to go in as the 4 seed, and I don't think they're getting in past the next round. So you're basically say you make playoffs, you're sacrificing about 3 or 4 draft picks, like position.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. So at this point, I think you're seeing, did we waste our money on Kirko, and is Michael Penix our future? And I would say it's not an overreaction.
No, and I think if you start him now, it's you can tell better next year who should be our starter. You know, if you start him these last 3 or 4 games or whatever, you start to see that you can decide. You have some film to go off of for next year. But yeah, anyway, I would not say that's an overreaction. I think the Falcons should bench Kirko and put in Michael Penix.
I agree. Not an overreaction. Moving on, Josh Allen will win MVP. Is this an overreaction or underreaction? We can talk more about it talk next week, but
yeah, I don't think it's an overreaction because I think he deserves it. I think I would pick him to be MVP this year.
Not even our open bias against Lamar.
Yeah,
but he's just better.
He hasn't done anything since Lamar hasn't done anything since the Steelers.
because Lamar put up 3 touchdowns and 3 rushing touchdowns, and I would be like, okay, that's a wow. That game was Josh Allen though.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he got a receiving touchdown, a rushing touchdown, and some passing touchdowns in a game, and he just put up 6 total touchdowns the other night. That's insane.
And single-handedly almost won his team the game.
Yeah, and you can say Lamar
didn't give me negative 8 points, and my fantasy with Jaden Reed put up 0, and I started Jordan Addison.
He still made the playoffs though. So You still made playoffs.
Different league, but yeah, I did.
Oh, my bad. I think I don't remember what I was gonna say. So, if you say Lamar is good because he's like a rusher and a passer, well, I think Josh Allen's a better at that. I wouldn't call Josh Allen a
Absolutely.
running back.
Thank you. Josh Allen is the better passer. There's no denying
Yeah.
that. Josh Allen is the better quarterback than Lamar Jackson. Lamar
Hmm.
Jackson may post better stats, have maybe a better performance where he looks better while he plays. Josh Allen is miles ahead of Lamar Jackson in the quarterback position.
Yeah.
And let's be honest,
Um.
the main times we watch Lamar Jackson is other than a primetime game, it's 2 times a year against the Steelers. When he plays the
Mhm.
Steelers, he does not play well. So
It's
basically,
true.
my first reaction to watching Lamar play is he's a pretty sucky quarterback. Like he's still good, but he's not Josh Allen level.
No. I think Josh Allen is the best player, other than Saquon. But that doesn't. Uh, Running
A
backs don't
quarterback
usually get
award.
MVP. But yeah. So anyway, I would not say that's an overreaction. I think it's a fair reaction. All right. Bengals make the playoffs with the win against Dallas.
I'm not even
Uh,
joking. I'm not even joking. This is not an overreaction.
okay. Let me hear. Let me hear it. Why?
Did you watch the game? The Monday night game?
uh, I watched a little bit.
Okay. The amount of times Burrow could have passed the ball to T. Higgins, to Gasecki, to Chase Brown. He said, nope, I'm going to Jamar Chase. And regardless if he's being covered or not, I know who's going to catch the ball. 9 times out of 10 in that game, Jamar came down with the ball.
Mm-hmm.
That duo is too good. I think with the streak, or because they don't even have a streak, they've won 1 game in the past 3 matchups, 4 games. Sorry. So okay, here's the remaining schedule though. If they beat the Titans, they move to 6-8. They beat the Browns, which I think they can easily do. They're up to 7-8. They beat the Broncos, which shakes up the whole AFC mix. If they do that, they go to 8-8. That game on January 5th against us will determine if the Bengals can sneak into the 7th seed or not. That's why I don't think it's an overreaction.
I think it is completely an overreaction because they have not been good all year. They have one game where they beat the Dallas Cowboys by 7 points. Their defense is probably one of the worst in the league. And sure, Joe Burrow is putting up MVP stats. But defense wins championships, offense sells tickets. And so far that's all it's been. Offense selling tickets. So I don't think there's a chance.
Here's
And
my
the Colt
argument, though. Broncos got Colts, Chargers, Bengals, Chiefs.
okay.
3 out of 4 of
But
those games can be losses. 4 out of 4 of those games can be losses.
sure, but it's the Broncos aren't the only team that have to lose. The Dolphins have to lose and the Colts have to lose. The Colts are looking at Broncos, Titans, Giants, Jaguars, which I think they could easily win 3 out of the 4.
Right. And you know what? LA can
But
still
they could
miss out
lose
on
too.
the playoffs.
Um,
LA's got Buccaneers,
it's true.
Chargers,
Yeah.
or Broncos, Patriots, Raiders. So I
Hmm.
honestly, if you would say that the Bengals somehow make the playoffs, that means Tua screws up 2 more games, or the Dolphins, just can't pull out a victory. The Colts are just the Colts. They'll be 8-9, 7-10, and
Yeah.
then Denver
Well,
screws up the last 4 games, and then you see Cincinnati finish out a 9-8 in.
yeah. The only reason why I think it's very unlikely is because the Colts and Dolphins are both a game ahead of the Bengals, and the Broncos are 2 and the Chargers are 2 games ahead. So they're last in the list of in the hunt basically. So
Oh
it's
yes,
just so unlikely, and they haven't been playing good all year. I mean, offensively, yeah, of course, but the defense is not good. So I just don't think there's any chance that the Bengals will make playoffs. And you can write that down, put it in
sure I will.
quotations.
I'm not saying that they will. I would love to see them. I think anytime you get a playoff game with Joe Burrow, it's going to be good. So
Yeah, but I
But
mean,
once again,
coaching wise, defense wise,
I'm
I don't see it.
sacrificing a Joe Burrow performance in the playoffs so that we don't lose to them. And with that game, we could potentially clinch the number 1 seed in the AFC or win our division,
Yeah.
depending
Yep.
on the next weeks. Yeah. Okay, so you call it an overreaction.
For sure.
I would say it's a little bit of an overreaction, but I can see it happening. Will the Bengals make the playoffs with their win against Dallas? We can say that's probably an overreaction.
All right. And then finally, can the Rams the Rams can have a deep playoff run? They just put up 44 on the Bills, and the Bills are a good team. We literally just talked about it. So Puka's back, healthy. Cooper Kupp's good still. Kyron Williams has been nice. Matt Stafford's been looking nice. So and their defense is good too. So can they make a deep run? I don't know. Are they in the playoff picture right now?
They're
Let me look.
7-6 right now, so they can still win their division. But here we go. These final 4 weeks, outside of the Jets, in week 16, they play every single team in their division. They got the Niners, they got the Cardinals, and they got the Seahawks.
Okay. Well, I mean,
This division is so close that literally anybody can still take it.
mm-hmm.
The Niners can move up to 7-7 after this week, and the Rams drop down to 7-7. I can see them beating the Jets, or I can see them losing. Like that game, I think is a toss-up. Rams versus them, it's a toss-up. Or I'm sorry, Cardinals versus Rams, I think it's a toss-up. Seahawks versus Rams, it's always a toss-up. So, if the Rams win their division, they would probably end up playing the Vikings or the Packers. Right?
Yes. They would play. So let's see. The Seahawks are third right now because the South is even worse. So
Right.
yeah, they would play the Commanders or the Packers. Or no. I'm sorry. They would play the
No, it's
Vikings or
Commanders
the
or
Packers.
LA
Yeah.
who's getting.
Oh yeah, you're right. Well, no, because if let's say the Rams win the division, and they
Their
get
division, I would probably put them at. Say we put them at 4. They're playing Minnesota or Green Bay.
Yeah.
I think their playoff run ends there.
Okay.
Personally,
This is a whole nother topic for another time, but
I know.
I don't think the Vikings are that good, so I don't think they would beat them. But I mean, I don't think the Vikings would beat the Rams. But again, that's a whole nother topic.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess really not. I think the Rams can beat the Vikings. I think it can beat the Packers. Commanders, yeah, if the Commanders in it, but I don't know if they'll stay in there. They could probably beat the Buccaneers or whoever's in the South. They're not going to beat the Rams, and they're not going to beat the Eagles. I can
So
say
say
that.
they sneak into the 7th seed. I don't think they're beating the Eagles.
Yeah, no. But if they take division, and that assumes that the Seahawks, 49ers, and Cardinals
What are you
all
qualifying as
mint.
deep though? You
As
qualifying
what?
anything past the wild card round as a deep playoff run, or are you talking about
Yeah,
AFC?
I mean, well, yeah, I guess I would say that division. Oh, I don't know. I guess that's what I mean. Yeah, after the wild card round, like it's not just a one game, what the Buccaneers are probably going to do, or the Vikings, in my opinion.
Packers.
So, yeah, the Packers, unless they play the Cowboys.
Yeah. I'm personally calling that an overreaction. As I
Okay.
said, their whole last 4 weeks is a toss up. I can weirdly enough seeing them lose to the Jets and then, putting 50 on the Cardinals the next week. So
Yeah.
I'm going to call this an overreaction that the Rams would make a deep playoff run. Sure, can they win the wild card? Maybe. They're not making it to the NFC Championship. There's no way. I think we all know who is making it to the NFC Championship game.
The 49ers. I'm just kidding. I don't think it's an overreaction. I think they can do it. I'm a believer in the Rams. My third favorite team. If I had one.
We got whole rosters now, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Well, those were your overreactions for the week. Let's move on to the Steel Curtain session, and then we'll finish up.
Do you want to do CPAC?
Oh, yeah.
CPAC
We have a
reacts.
CPAC to do. I forgot. I'll start.
Yeah.
3,
Okay.
2, and a 1. Another win. I can't complain. Gino, I think, is number 1 in the NFC right now for completed passes. It makes sense because he throws about 70 balls a game. Jackson Smith and Jigba, I love him so. He's so good. Zach Charbonnet, love it. I mean, he's doing what sometimes I feel like K9 can't. He's just a hard, gritty runner. He'll create contact and also take your ankles at the same time. So I've been really impressed with what he's been able to do. Kobe Bryant on the defensive side, once again, gets another interception. Our defense, I feel like, is really, really good. We're keeping scores somewhat. I mean, most of our games, we don't let up more than 20 points sometimes. That's a lie. We get blown out some big games. But I'm happy with what I've been seeing. And could have been a bigger win, but whatever. Go Pack. Or no. That's what you say. Go Seahawks.
I heard go Pack. Speaking of, I guess we played Thursday night against the Lions, and what a game it was. I do think the Lions definitely got away with some penalties that should have been called. But Josh Jacobs, 3 touchdowns again. Christian Watson stepped up. Wick stepped up. Tucker Kraft, I think I said it last week. I think he's going to be one of the best tight ends. So yeah, I mean, we did our best. It's just
How about real quick what he did? I'll say it after. Sorry, go ahead.
I just think the only thing that lost us the game was Dan Campbell being stupid and lucky at the same time, and penalties that weren't called. So, yeah, the Lions are a good team. So, go Pack.
Go 12s, yeah. How about Tucker Kraft? What he did after Kirby Joseph looked to end his career.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
don't get me wrong by saying this. I actually really like Kirby Joseph. People call him a dirty player. Okay, you know what? How else are you trying to bring down an NFL tight end? So, I don't know. Leading with your head.
Just like, how about
into
with
someone's
everybody else?
knee
How
seems a
everybody
little
else does
insane.
it?
But what'd you say?
How about he brings a tight end down like everybody else in the league does it, not breaking their ACLs?
Yeah, but I don't
So,
know. I just like to see big hits, even if I mean, someone's knee goes.
I mean, if of anybody who, who's been through an ACL,
No, I would hate the guy
he
if I
just
played
likes to.
against him. But from a safe
Yeah.
view on my couch, go ahead, hit the big guy as much as you want. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to talk about this. Hunter Long scored his first career touchdown off a
Yes.
punt block return.
There we go.
Past Sunday for the Miami Dolphins. Hunter Long, ladies and gentlemen.
Only true Huddle fans will
Only
will
true
know.
know what we're talking
Man.
about. Fins up.
Fins up.
Or fish up because he's a fish sandwich. I don't know. Only real ones know. All right. Here we go.
Steelers.
Here we go.
We beat the Browns.
And Myles Garrett wants to hush us after doing nothing the whole freaking game long, acting like he's some good. Okay, I'll just. All right, what was good this past week? I listen. If you are still a Steelers fan and you are hating on Russ,
if you're still a
probably
Steelers fan,
just don't like him as an athlete. That's okay. But you cannot lie that you are happy he's getting his wins every single week.
I am still a Steelers fan, and I don't think I'm hating on Russ anymore.
Took you long enough.
I'll give him credit. There was you were definitely biased because you like Russell Wilson.
Absolutely biased. I mean,
the only reason why you liked him was because he got a win.
Why I like football as much as I do. Like,
yeah,
he's my favorite quarterback of all time, other than Big Ben. So, yeah, my boy Russ. But like, I knew he still had it in him. That's what I'm saying. I saw what he did last year with the Denver Broncos. I saw how he performed, and then when I saw him get benched, I'm like, it's like the Broncos are idiots.
Yeah.
But no, I knew Russell had it in him. I didn't know it was this good, but I
Yeah,
knew
he
Russell.
he has looked really nice. Um, and there was always a thing where he can't throw over the middle of the field. Well, guess what? He's been doing that, and he's winning
That's
us
tough to
games.
do.
I think we should talk about, which we've talked about earlier this week, whether the signings of quarterbacks for next offseason. What kind of contract does Russell Wilson deserve next year for the Steelers?
Uh, I think Russ is getting a 1 year deal. I think Fields gets anywhere from 2 to 3. I
Okay.
think they both signed for around 15 million.
Okay. I I think Russ is going to get signed for 3 years. And I think it's going to be quite a lot of money, which I don't want to happen. But I mean, he's played really well, and if he gets us to a championship game or a Super Bowl, you know, you're probably expecting some kind of Patrick Mahomes, Jordan Love contract, which
Whoa,
is
I
it's.
don't think Russ wants that type of money. I don't think
I
he
think
does. I think he
I
wants to
don't.
play.
I think any quarterback will gladly take that kind of money, though, whether or not he
I
wants
don't
it or
think
not.
Russ is that type of guy though. And on all honesty, say we win the Super Bowl, I would not be surprised if Russ hung it up.
I would be. I don't think he. I don't think
I
he's
don't think
done.
he will. That's a really, really, really hot take that he would. Um, but no, no,
It'd be an awesome way to go, but
it would be. But there's
um,
no way. There's
no.
absolutely no way we sign Russell Wilson to a contract that big. It won't happen.
I
20 mil
I mean
max.
we signed Mitch Trubisky to an insane contract, so I just that's my feeling is Omar going to go a little bit crazy on a quarterback, um, but I don't know. I think it's going to be 3 years though, a 3 year
Which
contract.
I'd even be fine with that. But I
Yeah,
don't want us to miss out on an opportunity we could have had with Fields. But if
yeah.
Russ is going to win us more games, then by all means. At
I
this
don't
point, I don't
if
even care
we
about winning games. Who's going to win me a championship? And
yeah
Russell Wilson is the answer for that. And if you
yeah
still don't believe that, watch football. I don't know what else to tell you.
yeah. I think if Russ does get signed to a 3 year, that's it for Fields as a Steeler. I don't think there's a reason that he would want to stay 3 years behind Russell Wilson. Missing all those prime years for him. So, anyway, let's go on to Pat Fryermuth. He's been stepping up as a tight end.
Yeah, he's perfect. I love him. He's awesome. Um, you can tell that Russell Wilson really likes him. So, what, 2 consecutive games with a touchdown for him? Did he have one against the Browns? No,
No.
no. But he's got two straight games with touchdowns. Um, Seeing him dive for that end zone and just kind of the way he landed reminded me of
Yeah.
back in 2017 on a cold December night playing the Patriots.
Yeah. I still remember what I was
I
doing.
can
I was
feel
sitting
my
at my
blood
computer.
boiling right now. Just give him a moment of silence or something. I don't know. No, but Muth, he's impressing. I'm really happy, and I'm also really just happy that we signed him to the deal that we did earlier on in the season, and he should be here for a very long time.
Yep.
Keith Miller type guy, absolutely.
Yep. Our D line is really nice. Other than letting Chase Brown put up or not Chase Brown, the other 30.
Jerome
Wait,
Ford.
yeah, Jerome Ford, letting him do what he's been doing. Obviously, he had some oil on him or something that we couldn't tackle him. But anyway, other than that, they were really nice. Obviously, Keanu Benton with the pick, and Cam Hayward, 2 sacks, I think, and he just had a really nice game. So good job for the defense, and of course Chris Boswell, the greatest leg in history, still doing it.
Yeah. Scotty Miller, 3 catches, upwards of 60 yards or something. He impressed me, especially that one catch on the sideline. Looks really
Yeah,
good.
And I
We
think
didn't
you
do
just put.
terrible without Pickens.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I think you could just put all the receivers on that list because we did fine without Pickens, and that's insane. We're not gonna have him next week for the Eagles, which is kind of tough because they've
Yeah.
got some good D backs, but um, oh well. Someone's gonna have to step up. So,
Right.
and
And
Scotty
they
Miller
are.
did last week.
So, and then
Yeah.
Keanu Benton. How about that interception? Pretty nice.
Yep. And Mike Williams too. Give him some credit.
Yeah, Mike did well. Big dog.
And I wanna give more credit to Broderick Jones again. He is definitely turning into a better left or right tackle.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
and I think it's so. I love how this year went, even with injuries. Not I didn't love the injuries, but the way that it turned out for Fields and Russ. Russ was out for the first 6 games, and our O line was so bad at that point that I would not have wanted Russ to be behind that O line.
No,
And
not at all.
Fields definitely helped with his ability to run. And then once our O line got better, we could put Russ in, which is what happened. And then Troy Fautanu got hurt. Obviously, Broderick was really bad, but now he's had that time. They don't have any other or right tackles to put in, so we had to put in Broderick, and now he's getting better. So it's not destroying his development. He's just getting better as the games go. So I do appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, real quick, I'm on 5%, so
All right.
we'll wrap it up here. And I would say mostly the only bad thing is our coverage on defense, our secondary. We will get torched, absolutely torched, if we don't figure it out this week. We cannot afford to lose this game. All of PA will be in shambles. It will be a civil war this week, regardless of what the outcome is. We got Steelers fans and Eagles fans. Not well, not mixed well together. So we got to figure it out. Once again, cannot afford to lose this week. I mean, we gave up that one touchdown to Judy. That was the longest passing touchdown against us all season. So it's not that we've been terrible, but like Porter didn't even look terrific. And I know I beat up on him a lot. But even like Dante Jackson was just like, iffy a little bit. Beanie Bishop, he hasn't been.
James Pierre looks good though.
James Pierre looks great, man. He is either
Terrible or
Pierre
good?
Island, like Darrell Revis, or he is Eli Apple. There is no in between. Or that one corner for the Falcons. What's his name? Alford.
Yeah.
Got absolutely. Poor guy. Poor guy. Really quick before we wrap up today's episode, we're just gonna give you the bracket for the Huddle Wildcat. This is where we talk about college football, but the bracket is for the college football playoff. We got Clemson versus Texas. No, that's not right at all. Yeah, it is. Clemson versus Texas. That'll be an interesting game. Winner goes on to play Arizona State. Tennessee plays Ohio State. Winner plays Oregon. Those two games, regardless, are just going to be great. Whoever ends up winning. SMU plays Penn State. Winner goes on to face Genty and Boise State. And then last but not least, Indiana plays Notre Dame. Winner plays Georgia. I cannot see either of those teams going past. Actually, that side of the bracket is, I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like Boise State, if say Notre Dame wins against Indiana and then they beat Georgia because, Georgia's just weird because of Carson Beck's injury. I don't know. Boise State might have an easy path to the final. We'll see how it works, though. See how it comes out.
Okay. So who's your winner? Chicken dinner.
I think whoever wins the Tennessee/Ohio State Oregon game, that can win. Storybook ending is that Genty wins. He wins the Heisman. He wins the national championship, and he goes on to be one of the best running backs the league's ever seen. Realistically, I cannot see Oregon losing. Ohio State and Ryan Day need to step it up. I mean, Ryan Day will be fired if he doesn't.
Yeah.
If he loses to Tennessee, it's over. If he loses in the semis or in the championship, I think he could stay. But I don't think Will Howard's good enough to win a national championship. You look at national championship winning quarterbacks, Will Howard is not in that company.
Yeah,
Just being
I think it'll either be Texas or Georgia, depending on Carson Beck.
It could be Texas, but I'm not. They played really, really poor. Quinn Ewers has been. I feel
Yeah.
like Quinn Ewers has gone down ever since his injury. And
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got Arch Manning still, though.
right, you still got Arch Manning in the fall. But I hope, in all of my heart, Clemson crashes out and burns, and SMU
Yeah.
dies. SMU die, and Clemson, both of you die. Get out of here. I don't like Penn State, but
I wouldn't be mad if they won. I'm
Penn State.
not like a huge Penn State guy, but I'll cheer for them every once in a while.
I don't like
so
Penn
if
State
they
just
make
because
it-
I'm a Pitt guy, and there's not like a huge rivalry.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah,
Pennsylvania.
I just think
But
they're a little bit overrated, if you ask me. But I didn't
they
really
are.
watch that much
Franklin's not
college football stuff.
a terrific coach, and I don't think Drew Aller is. His stock,
I don't
the
like Drew
draft
Aller at all.
fallen. Yeah, so much.
I want Oregon. Oregon's the team that I want.
Yeah,
but
absolutely. Oregon. I know the joke is you have as many national championships as your logo, but listen, I think this could be their year. Very easily, this could be their year. And I like Dylan Gabriel. Big fan of him. So, all right. Real quick, back to NFL as we wrap up today's episode. Rams, Niners, Thursday Night Football. Steelers, Eagles this Sunday. Other big games coming to you. There really is none. Oh, there is. There absolutely is. Bills, Lions. Sunday afternoon, 4:25 on CBS.
Oh, wait. You forgot another one. Jets, Jaguars.
Yeah, I can't wait for that game. Might rip my eyes out.
Hold on. The Packers, Seahawks. Did you say that?
I was getting to that.
My bad.
We got Monday Night Football where the Vikings debut their, I don't know,
winter
jerseys, something like that. Winter skull, something. And then of course, Sunday Night Football. The CPAC reacts next week are going to be heated. They're going to be interesting. Me and Elijah are going to watch the game together. It's going to be great. 12 versus Cheeseheads. It's going to be great. That game is in Seattle. So, 12th man,
great for one of us.
Better step up. It's going to be great for one of us. The other one, we'll never hear the end of it. This is revenge. This is revenge. And last but not least, we know the Seahawks have had success against the Eagles a lot recently. And all of those games, except for one of them, is because of Russell Wilson. So I think we can pull off a victory. Just saying. Kenny Pickett revenge game. Maybe Hurts goes down with an injury.
I hope Kenny Pickett gets in this game, I hope TJ Watt.
I hope TJ Watt sends him to.
Or Beanie Bishop gets a pick off of him. That would be. That would mean a lot to me.
I would want I don't know.
That would mean so much to my heart. if that ever happened, but
we don't hate Pickett, but
no, it's just we hate what happened.
Baby, so
yeah,
his wife taught it. Anyways,
we love Beanie though. So.
Yeah. Thank you for listening to another episode here on the Huddle. Levi Jenkins here with Elijah Cower. Some big matchups in every slate of this Sunday, and of course, college football. Conference championships don't start yet. We got Army-Navy this week, this Saturday, so you might not want to miss that. But other than that, thank you for listening. We will see you all next week as the remaining 4 weeks of the season come. Playoffs coming soon, so hopefully the team is in.
Yes, unless you're the Baltimore Ravens. All right, go Pack, go Steelers. Let's go Mountaineers. Hopefully you sign a coach soon, and that all your players don't go
Belichick.
Yeah. Anyway, peace.